So now this is part 2 of your vocabulary for Europe is Reborn. The first word is indulgence. So this is a piece of paper that was sold by the Catholic Church that said that your sins were forgiven by God. And so this was an action that was very corrupt by the church because the church was taking advantage of people and taking their money and promising salvation when in reality faith teaches that that's not how it works, right? Only God can judge you and forgive your sins. And the Pope does not have the power to do that on earth. So this made a lot of people upset, right? And of course, the people who wanted salvation believed the church. So this was bad. Reform. So this word means a change or to change in order to improve. So many people felt that it was time for the church to change. And so whenever you reform something, it means that you are making it better or you're changing it or you're improving. So this is where we're going to get the word reformation. Okay, so again, reform means to reform it, or form it again, right? To redo it. Denomination, a section or branch of a religion. So we've been talking a lot about the religion of Christianity, and we know that it has broken up into many branches or sections of it. However, they are still Christian, right? So even though there are many different churches, right, they are all branches or sections of Christianity. So that word means denomination. Okay, Protestant. Protestant is a denomination of Christianity that has its roots in protesting or going against the Catholic Church. So if you can see, the words are very similar. So to protest, right, to speak up against. Protesting is the action of doing that. And then a Protestant would be the person. But in this case, this is a branch of Christianity. So it is still Christianity and believes in Jesus Christ, but it has become its own branch with its own churches. So here we have the monk, Martin Luther, who started to protest against the church, and he nailed his complaints to a church door, which was called the 95 Theses, which we will be learning about later. So Protestants believe in the Holy Bible, right? So it says sola scriptura, so the Bible only. So the Bible is the source of information, not a person like a priest or a pope who is going to teach you about the faith or interpret it, right? Like if you want to learn more about the faith and follow the faith, then you must go to the source, which is the Bible. Catholic believes in the Bible, the traditions, and the Pope. So just like a little bit of a difference between the two. Vernacular. This is the everyday language of an area or a group. So during the Middle Ages, Latin was the official language of the church, right? And many people knew, only the monks knew how to read and write in Latin. Right, so Mass was in Latin, and so during this time, the everyday language of people became more popular, which is how things are spoken. So, for example, the way that you talk to your friends and the way that you talk with your family and at home would be the vernacular, which is a little bit different than how you would talk in class or at your job, right? Because those are more professional settings. So these were the everyday languages, which will be important later on when literature starts to arise. Rationalism is the idea that opinions and actions should be based on reason and knowledge instead of religious beliefs or emotions. So here we have more like of a scientific way of thinking where you're using your brain to ask questions, to try to understand, to use facts and observations and things that are rational or make sense rather than going on your emotions or whatever religious believes or whatever the church says. Okay, so I believe that this brings us to the end of our second part of the vocabulary.